Hello, thank you for tuning in. I am Fatimah A Lillie. However, I was born Yolanda Yolette Wilkins. Today I come to you to just pretty much let you know that what I'm about to do is make a public declaration to the public and to the world and to any government agent, any political person, anybody who feels that they may have an interest in me as a person. I am here to let it be known that I am not a person. I am one of the people. I am an American national and not a United States citizen, as I have been deceived to believe that I am. I do not elect to be a United States citizen because in doing so, I give up all of my rights as I give up all of my human rights and put myself in a position to be given rights by the corporate United States federal government. And I'm just letting it be known that this is not what I choose to do. Right now, what I'm going to do is read my public affirmation / declaration into the record, into the public. That way there will be no false assumptions or presumptions that anyone can assume over me. So here I go. Today is January 8th? No. Today is January 10th, 2010. And it is approximately 3:48. Know all men by these presents that I, born Yolanda Yolette Wilkins, hereinafter referred to as Fatimah A Lillie, extend greetings to all representatives, agents, and officers of the United States, and freely and voluntarily send the following message. I am sending this letter and enclosed affirmation / declaration as a courtesy and for your information. You are receiving this because you are either a duly elected public servant or are occupying a position created by an act of law or expediency. Please feel free to pass this letter on and the enclosed affirmation / declaration along to whomever you may think would be interested in its contents. I would encourage all who read it to study it thoroughly. It comes from many years of study, research, and anguish. I have not made this decision lightly. I am fully aware of the implications, ramifications, and possible consequences. It flows from the pen of a peaceful, freedom-loving, independent woman who can see the recurring pattern that has plagued mankind since man first ruled over other men. I have come to believe that I must either acquiesce to the role of a subject or take the path others have bravely traveled, often at enormous costs to themselves. I have chosen the more difficult path of identifying and challenging that which is contrary to my liberty and conscience. The enclosed affirmation / declaration is not a legal document. The statement made in the affirmation / declaration are not a matter of law or legality. The statements made in the affirmation / declaration exist outside law promulgated by government. My affirmation declaration avers and attests to the natural law that binds all people and is antecedent, basis, and justification for any other moral law. Just as ignorance of the law is no excuse, by this affirmation / declaration, ignorance of my sovereignty, my rights, and my liberty is no excuse. If we are to believe in the words of those who have come before us, espousing and proclaiming the ideas of liberty, then all men have by way of their birth possess complete and perfect title to their person, liberty, and property. Such men seeking to form a government for their mutual benefit and binding only those who consent to its jurisdiction cannot, by right or morality, bind other men to their will without the like consent of those who they seek to bind. The Affirmation/Declaration of Independence makes the proclamation that, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed, and should any government become destructive to these ends, it shall be the right of the people to alter or abolish it. The Affirmation Declaration did not ask the government to accept, acknowledge, or approve of that statement because it does not need acceptance, acknowledgement, or approval. It is simply a declaration founded in truth, morality, and nature. I have chosen to adopt the spirit of the Declaration of Independence in my public affirmation/declaration of sovereignty, expatriation, and dissolution of all previous political and national allegiance. I believe I have taken responsible measures to question and challenge that which has been portrayed to me as law that binds me to perform certain duties prescribed by others with whom I have not chosen to represent me or act on my behalf. I am making known my affirmation/declaration as a peaceful overture to those who have taken liberties in prescribing the limits of my liberties, defining my rights, and restricting my freedom. I have grown weary of dissemblance, fraud, deceit, threats, and silence proliferated by supposed servants elected and paid by the consenting governed, all to the detriment of those who either consent through will or succumb through ignorance. Please take note. I am not asking for permission. I am not seeking approval. I am not petitioning for acknowledgement of my affirmation/declaration. It will stand as my public proclamation in clarifying or correcting who I am in relation to what government has presumed or deemed me to be. It is my peaceful overture to all of mankind as a reasonable, rational, and conscionable woman, and it is my firm and true belief that absent my tacit and explicit consent, I have the right and power to conscript myself to or remove myself from any power that acts in any manner whatsoever, in which case I consider the present federal, state, and local governments to be inconsistent with my conscience, reason, or morality. My affirmation/declaration is absolute, non-negotiable, and the supreme law to which I morally bind myself. Even though I subscribe to the teachings of Thoreau, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and Gandhi, I will resist peacefully at first, by merely refusing to act in a manner prescribed by arbitrary power. But if confronted with an attempt at coercion or compulsion through force against my person, I will resort to whatever means of self-preservation I may see fit to summon, meaning that I will fight back if I have to. I prefer to do it peacefully. That's why I'm making my public declaration. As Thomas Jefferson said, resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It is peaceful to refuse to act, but it is righteous to protect that which divinity has provided. Unless a claim can be made that binds me or subjects me to any presumed authority arising from a document, contract, agreement, or oath, and which was made with my fully informed voluntary consent, then I am subject to no government authority. If government requires the consent of the governed, then this affirmation/declaration contests the presumption of such consent. If I am to be subjected to arbitrary power against my will,